Okay, so today we're making a really fun garnish that you can use for your eclairs or any type of pastries or cakes. And this is a type of crystallized chocolate. And what's going to happen is we're going to create this soil or pebble-like texture, which is nice and crunchy. So we can add some crunchy elements to our desserts and also make them look absolutely beautiful. So it's a very, very simple thing to make, and you can make this ahead of time and store it in an airtight container for several weeks. So the first thing that we want to do is make a caramel, but we're not really adding any color to it. So we're going to get the heat on here onto a fairly high heat. And going in there, we have some white granulated sugar and some water. Now we don't want to stir this, we just want to wait until that sugar melts. And as you can see, I've taken a small little fry pan or skillet, and it'll make more sense a little bit later when we start using our whisk to whisk in our chocolate. So we don't want to stir the sugar and water at this stage. We don't want it to crystallize. So we're just going to slowly melt that sugar. You can give it a little bit of a swirl. Now the caramel is going to add some crunch to our pebbles today, but we're also going to be adding some cacao nibs. And cacao nibs are the bean from the cacao tree. And these have become very popular over the years, used a lot in vegan whole foods, and they add a really nice bitter taste and also a nice crunch as well. But you can just do this by eye as well. Just as soon as it starts changing color is when it will be ready. But if you keep it on the heat, you'll see that it's going to slowly start to change color. So now it's ready, we can switch the heat off. And I'm going to add my cacao nibs first, just give that a quick little stir. And then we're going to add all of our chocolate. And then using our whisk, we want to vigorously stir it, using that residual heat to melt the chocolate. And as we stir, it's going to start creating like a soil-like texture. And I like to break up some of those larger pieces. And then you can just pour it onto your baking tray. And just set that aside to completely cool down. So now that our crystallized chocolate pebbles have cooled down, if you notice that there's any like really large chunks, like I personally like to just break them up a little bit, and you can just use like the back of a wooden spoon, especially if you're putting them on smaller desserts. So once you're happy with the size, I actually like to sift them just to ensure there's no really fine, powdery, or very, very small pieces. And there you go, you can keep that for at least a few weeks and they're going to stay nice and crunchy, and they're a perfect addition to garnish your favorite desserts like eclairs, cakes and pastries.